Hey guys, Mike Mcerlane with another episode of Workout 101 on workouttrainer.com, right here at The Gym, the personal home fitness studio of Dr. Jim Stepani and myself. So today we're talking about the benefits of the bands and how the exercises selected are able to be used with the bands. A lot of people, a lot of Gym Army fans are wondering how to use the JYM Strength Bands, the JYM Strength Bands that Jim has come out with in collaboration with Body Elastic. So when we put together these bands, there's a lot of different things, the reasons why. Attachments, all the things that are in the actual kit, Jim wanted specifically so they could be used with certain exercises and his programs, as well as I've been using the bands for the last 15 years. And I've always used them. I actually helped develop some of the things in collaboration with Body Elastics to come up with certain systems like the 2-band system and such. So anyway, we're talking about using the bands and how the setup is on the incline bench. What you want to do is, if you're going to use the bands on the incline bench, it's very similar to how to use the bands when you're doing the shoulder press. When you're doing a regular bench, the setup is a little bit different. When you're using an incline bench, the setup is similar to how you would do it on the shoulder press. So what I mean by that is, before you go ahead and do anything, you want to have the empty barbell and you want to put the Velcro straps on first before you put on the weight. So you go ahead and you slip it on. Now, as I've said before in the other videos with the shoulder press, you just don't want the band to be like that, because then what will happen is anytime that you have the tension from the bands, it could slip over and come across, and you don't want to do that. So how do you avoid that? Well, very simple. You simply secure the band or the wrap to where it's flush against the bar, and you double loop it. So you cross it over. It doesn't matter which way you go, but you cross it over here, wrap it around, come back, and put the Velcro back across itself and secure it. That is not going anywhere. That will prevent this from looping over the end of the barbell here. Then you go ahead and you put on your free weight if you are using the bands and the free weight, because you don't always have to use the free weight with the bands. From here, what you want now, different benches have different things in place. So for instance, this particular body solid bench has the low bar down here for secure, which makes it easy to slip the band underneath. Some benches don't have that. They just have the flat bench here. So where are you going to hook the band? Very simple. Take a heavy dumbbell and put the dumbbell underneath the bench. The same thing on the flat bench. If you don't have a low bar, you don't want the band to be up around the bench here. You want it underneath the surface of the lowest point. That's the only way you're going to get proper tension as well as security to where the band's not flopping around. If you don't have that, take a heavy dumbbell, a 100-pound dumbbell, most gyms have them. That will do. Just take something down there to where you can slip the band through. It should be fine. Don't attach the band here first and then loop it underneath. That's going to cause an uneven tension in the band, and you don't want that. What you want is you want to start here, slip it on the lowest point, measure the distance, make sure it's relatively even, okay? You don't want it like this and then hook it up. You want to level it out, make sure it's relatively even, step over the bench. Now this is the heaviest band in the kit, so this is 30 pounds of resistance right here at the very beginning, okay? 30 pounds as soon as I get it taut. The further I stretch, the heavier it becomes. But I just want to go ahead and hook it under here, secure it, take this other side, walk it on over, and secure it to the other side here, okay? Now, that's pretty even. If I really want to check, I come down here, I press down, I feel the tension on either side, I let it come back up, okay? That's the setup. Band the barbell cuff on first, then put the bands on, then your free weight if you choose to do free weight, and that is the setup for the incline bench press using the bands. Okay, so we just went over the setup of how to get the band set up on the incline bench. Let's go over the technique. Very simple, okay? Many people do the incline bench. There's a little bit of questions, you know, or different methods in terms of how far down you go. Some people go down just about right to where their fist is. Some people touch their chest. It really depends. What you don't want to do is you just don't want to hyperextend the shoulders because you are in this inclined position, so going too far to really touch down. Some people, depending on their anatomy, how long or short their arms are, how wide the grip is, going down to touch the chest might not be for you in the incline bench. If you're doing a regular bench, you damn well better go down and touch the chest. But for incline, you're getting enough stretch into the pecs to where right about here, and the bar comes down, right about here, I'm getting enough stretch into my pecs. From here to here, I'm not really getting that much more for my particular anatomy, okay? So depending on your, I guess your preference of what you feel works best for you, is it gonna kill you not to go down and touch the chest? No, you just don't wanna go halfway down, but you wanna go down as close to your chest as possible. If you can touch, that's great. If not, because it puts too much stretch on your shoulders, that's okay too. No one's gonna dock you for that. Muscle's still gonna contract the same. But when we have the actual bands plus the weight, this is essentially how you're looking to do the reps. You're just racking here. Get an arch in your back. You want your shoulders, your butt, and your feet to be placed. You do want space in between your back and the bench. Being flat here puts more of a concave, a protraction in your shoulders. You don't want that. You want to extend, pinch your shoulder blades back. You want to be able to like fit a pencil into your shoulder blades. So as you're on here in the bench, just like a regular bench, you want to get up on your shoulder blades. Your head is secure. It's not up here looking. Some people come down, they look. Don't do that. Keep your damn head on the bench. As you unrack here, you go down, nice and slow, and then come up, powerful. All right, that's with the free weight. Now, there is technique to do if you're not using free weight, if you're just using the bands, and it's different, okay? When I do this, what's called fast twitch movement is usually at the beginning parts of your workout program. So if I'm doing chest, I'm doing incline bench, I'm using the bands, what I would normally do, now listen, the way that your body responds and the way the fast twitch muscle fibers are able to be recruited are always at the very beginning of your workout. That's the same reason why you will jump higher at the beginning of a workout once you're warmed up than if you were to do legs and then go try and do a vertical jump, okay? Your body's ability to produce that force and call upon those muscle fibers to fire simply doesn't happen. They get burnt out really quick. So you want to do the fast twitch movements in the beginning parts of your workout. So if I were doing incline bench, before I get into it with the bands, what I would do is I would take off all the free weight, all right? Because there's no free weight, it's 135 pounds with the bar plus the free weight, plus the band. It's a 60-pound band, 30 on either side. So the bar is 45 pounds, and about 45, and so 90 pounds of resistance on the actual band itself because it's stretched beyond its actual tension point. So I'm roughly about 135 pounds up at the top, okay? So as I unrack here, it feels about 135, all right? But as I go down, you'll notice I can do this because I have no heavy free weight to really, which limits speed. I have more resistance from the bands than I do the actual physical load of the weight. So what this allows me to do is move in a fast, more rapid pace, such as this. And if you do this as a fast twitch warm-up, a couple sets, then you get into your free weight. That is where you're going to see massive benefits from using the bands. You saw how fast I was going with just the elastic resistance. Now I've added more free weight than elastic resistance. I'm still getting the benefits of the bands because the linear variable resistance principles, but it's limiting the speed because of free weight. It's still getting heavier as I push up, which is a good thing, but it's limiting the speed. So now we've finished the setup and also the technique of using the incline bench with the bands. Let's go over the benefits. Again, The benefits are the same, and if you've watched any of the other videos where I've talked about the benefits, look, the heavier that the weight becomes, the further you press it away from your body, that is going to recruit more of those type 2B fast twitch muscle fibers, because your muscles are contracting harder. The heavier it becomes. It's the same principles if I had chains on here. The difference is chains, I'm still limited to the amount of speed that I can move, because the chains are controlled by gravity. The bands are not. So when I come down here, it's really heavy at the top. I have 135 pounds on the bar, plus I would say add another 80 to 90 pounds just from the bands being stretched as far as they are right now. This does feel about 215 pounds at the top here. But as I come down, the bands lose tension and I'm getting weaker. And as I come up, the bands increase in tension, but I'm getting stronger. So what happens is if you actually look at the way that the muscle fires, it fires like this. Muscle's peak contraction is here, and then it starts contracting and it goes up. But then eccentrically it comes down and then it goes up again. The same thing happens with the weight. So if that weight parallels the way that the muscles contract, okay, or they fire under tension, you're gonna get a lot more recruitment of those type 2B fast twitch muscle fibers. You can only push as much weight as you are weak. Think about that. I can only push as much weight as I am weak. That means I have to be able to push the maximum amount of weight I'm going to be able to push has to be able to be done in that weakest point in the range of motion, okay? So when I'm at my weakest here, I have to be able to push that weight here in order to get a rep, right? But as I'm getting stronger and the weight stays the same, the muscle's ability to contract with as much force starts going down. That's the reason why if you look at the strength curve of how muscle fiber fires, it goes up and then it starts going down. But with the bands, that peak contraction goes up. It doesn't dissipate, it doesn't go off, because the weight is so heavy at the top here and it's forcing. I can't push this much weight down here. That's for damn sure, okay? But because the weight decreases, now I can push this weight because it's decreasing, but now as I get stronger, that contraction is still firing, it's still contracting because the weight's getting heavier. That's going to increase more muscle fiber recruitment, increase your strength. So this is the incline bench using the bands. If you guys have any questions about this or anything else, please ask me on the Workout Trainer Facebook page, or you can ask me right here on workouttrainer.com by clicking above on the community section, having that drop down that says trainers, finding myself, Mike Mcerlane. I will answer you guys' questions. If you want a workout program that utilizes this specific movement, should be listed below. Until next time, guys, it's Mike Mcerlane coming to you from the gym in Westlake Village, California. Take care.